Every aspiring YN in America needs to read this book. Hello, everyone. I'm author R.L. Raintree, and this is Reels and Reads, where I give honest reviews and occasional spoilers. Monster by William Dean Myers is a hybrid novel and screenplay about a teenage boy who is on trial for murder. This is a young adult novel. It does look like a screenplay, it reads like a screenplay with camera directions and so forth. But if you are uncomfortable reading that or you don't understand that, you could skip those parts, and though you'll lose a little bit of the setting in your visual, I'm sure you can come up with it on your own by reading the dialogue in the script as well as the journal entries. The point of this novel is to highlight what it's like to be a young black boy in the criminal justice system. Now, a lot of people feel like they already know, but it's another thing to get it from the point of view of the teenage boy that is being put through the system. When I read this, the first thing I thought was, how did this even make it to trial? Without giving away too much, essentially, there was a convenience store robbery where the owner wound up dead, hence the murder charge. And of course, as you know, anyone involved in the robbery, regardless of whether or not they meant to kill the person, is going to be on trial for murder. That's not how it always was, but this book is written at a time when it was. And Steve Harmon, who is the main male character, essentially is being accused of being the lookout. But of course, he says that's not what it was. I just happened to be there that day to buy some sort of snack, and all of this happened. But when you hear the evidence, or I should say, when you read the evidence as it's portrayed by both sides, both prosecution and defense, you're wondering how this even got to trial. And as you wonder that, you remember, oh, yes, this is a little black boy we're talking about. So this novel does a great job of showing how even his own attorney looks down at him and sees him as a monster, even on days where she's doing a really good job defending him. I mean, she had a really great day in court, and yet still she would look at him and say, it doesn't look good for you. I mean, she was regularly breaking this boy's soul, even on days when she was eviscerating the prosecution. The best part of this novel for me was the journal entries. That's when we get a look inside Steve Harmon's mind. Everything from understanding why his shoelaces are being taken away, everything from understanding why he's being considered a monster in more than one way. For example, the moment you're accused of a crime, you're a monster. Seeing how the bailiff talks about him, how everybody's just trying to get overtime, his own attorney, and then, of course, the way his parents see him. You're not a monster, but yet you're on trial for something that is a monstrous crime. When he's in juvenile hall or jail, everybody around him is a monster. They either truly were monsters as far as what crimes they were in for, or they were being forced to behave as monsters just to survive. And he tells us in his journals how he feels himself turning into one of them again, purely for survival. And when people keep telling you that you're a bad person, after a while you start to wonder if you are. You can tell at which point during the novel when Steve begins to question whether or not he's even guilty. He forgets to, he starts to forget, well, maybe I did do something and I just don't remember. And if you start to question that, remember there are a lot of people who admit to crimes they've never committed because of the way police interrogate you. I really can't say that there was anything that I did not like about this novel. Everything was perfectly paced. Everything gave exactly what it set out to do. If I could change anything, I would have asked for more introspection from the journal entries, more emotion. But it was raw enough. And for a kid who's trying to control his emotions, it does make sense. But if I were to ask for anything, I would ask for more of the journal entries. In the end, I gave this novel 5 stars for its originality and subtle social commentary. It doesn't tell you what to think, it doesn't shout at you, this is what black boys go through. It just puts you into the situation to where you forget that you're reading from someone else's point of view. And before long, you're yelling at the book because this should not be happening, or oh my God, I can't believe that actually happened. Now, I said at the beginning of this video that every aspiring YN should read this, but honestly, I feel like every adult should read it as well. Everyone should read this book, even though it is young adult and it's pretty simple. I read it in about 30 or 45 minutes. A child may take a little bit longer, but it's so important to read this book to understand how the system sees black boys and how black boys see themselves once the system has gotten a hold of them. Let me know what you think about this book, whether or not you read it when you were younger. And if you'd like to know what I highlighted and flagged in my annotations of the book, head on over to my Patreon. Thanks for watching.